put it together. So, but you look at Dallas, man, that's all they're doing. They're just having a manageable game. You don't want the rookie to be tossing the ball 40 times a game. You don't need that when you have an offensive line that can be able to block, pass block, as well as run block. And they're doing a very, very good job. All right, so, man, we can go on and on to the break of dawn about this, but I was kind of curious. I know Delvin Breaux came back last week. This week, Delvin was in on like 77 plays. It seemed to me as though the Broncos were keen in on Delvin and taking advantage of Delvin, and, possibly because some rust is still there in his play. Did you guys notice that as well?
I did. Yeah, he did. I mean, Demaryius Thomas, not big plays, but Demaryius Thomas had 8 or 9 receptions, and he extended some of those drives. I didn't think Delvin Breaux played that great, but I expected that with him and Sheldon Rankins. Although I think Sheldon Rankins in his second game played really phenomenal, part of that 6-sack defense. But I thought that Delvin was having a few struggles, and it's just Russ coming back. He's, from being out so long, So I expect the Ryan Eagles to
rebound, right?
Redeem themselves again.
Yeah, I thought Crawley would have played a little bit more. Crawley was only on 2 defensive plays, man. But Sterling Moore played 100% of all the 83 defensive plays, as well as he played in some special teams. Very interesting. And that's another thing. We cannot have our defense out there, like BB say, 80 times on the field, man. That's you can't do that against Cam Newton. He's just going to run on you. And they kind of went back to their roots early on in that Kansas City game, just running down their throat and Cam taking the ball and running the ball instead of trying to drop back and pass. They abandoned that the second half, and that's how they lost. So hopefully the Saints can be able to just take the cue. Sean Payton, Mr. Carmichael, stay steady with the run. I think we can be able to get this done. Okay. Any other nuggets that you guys want to talk about for the game?
I think the game tomorrow, what I observed from the snippets of the KC game against Carolina, although Kansas City is by no means a juggernaut in the offense arena, it appears that Carolina's defense has gotten a little better because they pretty much held them, I think, to 3 points until they went in that fourth quarter and gave up those 17 points. And Kansas City did score a pick 6 by Eric Berry. So they really actually only scored 10 points. But it looks like that Carolina defense we faced in week 6 is not going to be the same defense that you're going to face in Carolina. So the Saints are going to have to play, outdoors, and which for some reason outdoors, except for that San Francisco game, they've struggled in terms of continuity with the offense. They've only averaged, minus the San Francisco game, 19 to 22 points a game outdoors. So they're going to have to play much better than they did in the first half of that Denver game.
Okay, you're right. All right, and also the Saints are going to have to be better on third down. They were only at 33%. The Saints came into the game being one of the top in the league with the third down conversions. Also, the Saints were one of the top teams in the red zone efficiency as well. Saints were 0% in the red zone because we gave up that pick 6 and got no points. So there you go. just got to be consistent, man. Hold on to the ball. They have been doing a better job limiting the penalties against them. So hopefully we continue that trend. We only had one penalty assessed against the Saints. No, I'll take that back. 3 assessed against the Saints the whole game. All right, guys. A couple of quick things before we get off the air. The Saints, Mike Marty, we're going to be praying for you, man. He has a condition. He's not going to be with the Saints for the rest of the season. That's something we have to take note of. Hopefully he's going to be able to get that corrected. Also, what is it called? Also, correlative
ulcerative colitis.
Colitis. Okay. All right. And
he's a second generation Saint too. So that's really, really big time. That's family.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
He grew up with in a home with a guy who played back in those days when we were struggling to look at him. His dad was like pretty much all we had at the time on the defense. Rich Marty would get up there and grab us a little interception at least once a game. And this was back before you could chuck a player, and you could, if you touched the receiver at all, it was interference. And his dad was still picking people like crazy. So, I have a lot of respect for his dad and love him as well. So I'm really wishing him the best. So come on back, man. Take your time, get healthy. Come back next year when we really have a chance and do something with us and help us kick some booty.
Yeah. Ulcerative colitis. Yes, that's his condition. But he did say the doctors finally advised him that he needed to take the surgery. It's better for his long-term health, and he will be able to play next year with being managed through medication as well as having a better diet. So that's pretty good to hear that he will be able to rebound from this situation that he's known about since his childhood. So, all right, guys. Also, we have to take note that Martin Anderson is back as a semi-finalist for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So hopefully we get another Saint inside the Hall of Fame with Martin Anderson. He was not accepted last year, and he came close, but hopefully Martin will be able to get into the NFL Football Hall of Fame this season. Any other notes, any things you guys want to talk about before we get out here? Looks like Armstead will be out for the Panthers game, and that's a big blow for the Saints. And
Daniel Lasco too.
Lasco will be out as well. So Saints did a great job. And I forgot to mention this. That offensive line, did we hear anything from Von Miller?
No, that line, I'm telling you, that line, seven of them players need to be going to the Pro Bowl if they play like this the remaining 7 games. Von Miller was not a huge factor. I know he had a couple close calls, but they did an outstanding job on Von Miller. I mean, really outstanding. Marcus Ware, to tell you the truth.
Exactly. Well, they did a great job.
I'll put it like this, man. I remember the Super Bowl, and it sounded like Von Miller was the only one on the defense for Denver.
Yeah.
That was the only name I heard constantly. And for his name to barely be called against us, that's really saying something about our team.
Exactly.
That's when you consider how outstanding Carolina's offense was last year. And once they got to that game, man, it was as if they didn't even have a line out there.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know John Madden usually awards the best offensive line in the NFL, his little top honors. And I've got to say this line has to be up for close to being honorably mentioned as candidates for that particular award for being recognized by John Madden. So
All right. I'd have to give it to Dallas, though. But they would have,
yeah.
But the Saints would have to be in the conversation.
Yeah, the Saints would have. If the Saints could run the ball like they did the previous 2 games before this Denver game, more of that, then you have to put in, and we have to give kudos, a little bit patience, and now we see why Andrew Pete was drafted number 1, because you have to have patience, and I just wish Coach Payton would do the same thing with Marcus Murphy and Stephon Anthony, because the project replacing Stephon Anthony turned into a bust. He's going to have to learn patience with his other 2 young draft picks, because we see now Andrew Pete, he may be a candidate to go to the Pro Bowl, because he has really, I have to apologize and give kudos to him also, because he has really, really on that left side played extremely well. He really has.
Yeah.
And so, that's just, it's just, and thank Jari Evans came back, and
he's playing well as well. He's playing very well this season. And Zach Streif, he's whew. So all of those guys right now, they're playing well. Still have a few more games to play, guys. 7 more. So let's see how we're able to do.
Watching on TV, and that's why their job is to evaluate, I guess.
Exactly. Let's see. A couple other things. The jury for the Will Smith murder trial against Cordell Hayes will be sequestered. So that's going to be a high-profile murder case, of course, with the loss of the former Saints defensive end Will Smith. And that's about all that I have for us. Let's keep on praying for our guys to come home safe. For injuries are out there, but let them be able to come home safe, that they can recuperate, as well as let's have a great game on tomorrow night. You can check out Saints News at www.saintsnews.net. Notice that tonight we are not going to do any predictions, so let's just wish our guys luck.
Wait. You ain't going to let Remy Diamonds come through, and Kyle, you're not going to predict for it. But you had the 23 right, Kyle. You had the 23 right, but you had it for the wrong team in 41.
I thought we were predicting 2 games and combined, man. We were combining scores. That's what we were trying to do, combine some scores, man.
Remy Diamonds does have a prediction, man, but it has nothing to do with the game. He does have a prediction.
He has a prediction? Let's see.
He does have a prediction. It's not about the outcome of the game, though. He has a prediction.
All right, Remy Diamonds. Let's see if we can conjure up Remy Diamonds. Where is Remy Diamonds' music? Remy Diamonds. Hold on, Remy Diamonds.
I feel Remy Diamonds coming in the building.
Oh, Lord, it's Remy Diamonds. Remy Diamonds, what do you say?
How y'all doing today? This is my prediction for the game tomorrow. Cam Newton will do his press conference wearing pink capri pants,
BabyCakes,
with a sweater tied around his neck. And some penny loafers with quarters in them. And his hat this week, the hat will be by Polo, and it'll be a furry hat, and he will leave the tag hanging from the brim.
Oh my goodness!
And I'm back.
All right, Remy Diamonds.
I don't know what he said. I have no idea what he said.
Remy Diamonds said he was going to throw some dollar bills at BabyCakes.
I think Derek Diamonds is making an appearance too.
Okay, all right. What does Derek Diamonds have to say?
Oh, fellas, I think in Carolina the Saints are going to fly into Carolina and land at the airport and go to the